A new HBO documentary is taking people behind the pins of one of America's favorite pastimes, bowling. Executive produced by Ben Stiller, the five-part series chronicles the unique world of professional bowling, following five stars as they crisscross the country, chasing victory, prize money, and fight for what some may argue is the second most coveted green jacket in the sporting world. Take a look.
Bowling is such a unique sport. To win a U.S. Open trophy. It was so emotional. There's actually a tear still on it.
So,
Uh-oh.
no, well, there goes the foot.
And joining us now is 27-time Professional Bowler Association Tour title winner Tackett, along with Emmy-nominated director of the documentary, James Lee Hernandez. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for joining us. Let's start. I think that we get a sense from this first season that bowling is not so glamorous, right? I mean, often you're sharing rooms with your fellow athletes in a budget hotel. We see one gentleman who's carrying his own personal refrigerator with him to the hotel. What drew you to this sport that really isn't all that glamorous?
Yeah, my dad was a bowler for a long time. He bowled professionally a little bit back in the late 80s, early 90s. I was born, and he decided to come home and get a more stable job. And when I was about 6 years old, my parents bought a bowling center. So I've grown up inside of a bowling center my entire life. Got free reign of the building, and got to practice a lot, and that's how I got so good.
And big game James. See, I feel inappropriate that I don't have my name, stitched on my shirt tonight. But give us a sense of what made you decide that you were going to create a documentary about bowling.
Well, bowling has kind of been ingrained in my life and with my family. So I grew up bowling just, as kind of like for fun with friends and family. Everyone, especially in America, has bowled, either has had a friend's birthday party or their own, or they've been in a league or some connection to it. And beyond that, being able to see what these guys put themselves through and how hard they work to be able to do what they do, it just, to me, was the best balance of you take something that is such a connection to everybody that basically you've ever met, but also then you have the highs and lows of being in a professional sport and trying to provide for your family by doing that.
You mentioned that you grew up, your parents owned the bowling alley. Does it seem that this is a generational kind of sport, very much a family sport, as you mentioned?
Oh, absolutely. There's been several players where their father and grandfather, the McCune family, Don McCune just passed away about a week ago, won a bunch of championships in his day, and then his son, Eugene McCune, won a few times, and then Eugene's son, Kevin, won a major championship a couple of years ago. And then you have the Webbers and the Troops, and Troops actually in this documentary as well.
As you said, everybody's gone bowling a few times. I tend to do best when, the gutter has the inflatables in there. But many people won't understand the little nuances, like the ball or the oil pattern when you're, tossing it down. Give us a sense of how complex this sport actually is.
It is very, very complex. We do have oil on the lanes. We call them oil patterns. There is a machine that runs down the lane that is able to apply this oil in different parts, front to back, side to side. There's different kinds of oil that they use in that machine. All of these have an effect on the types of bowling balls that we use or which part of the lane we play, whether straighter or more of a curve. And then the bowling balls themselves are kind of a marvel. The center part of a bowling ball is called the core. They're all different shapes and sizes. And then the outside part of the bowling ball we call the covered, which is actually what touches the lane. So I kind of refer it to like a car. The inside is the engine, the outside's the tires. And we're trying to get that perfect match to create the curve that we want.
And you're trying to win it all coming up, right? Another tournament, big tournament coming up soon?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of the season right now. We just had the U.S. Open last week, finished 12th there. Had a second earlier in the season, but we've got about a dozen or so more events left to bowl this year, and 3 of them being major championships. So every tournament's a big one to me.
We're rooting for you. James, thank you both so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. You can watch Born to Bowl starting Monday, March 16th at 9 p.m. on HBO and HBO Max.